Coming up on Mountain News this morning, today is the last day of Donate Life Month, but organ donations are down. And we talked with one Knox County pharmacist who has been at the job for 70 years about his journey and experiences with COVID-19. And yesterday was an exciting day at Baptist Health in Corbin after one of their patients finally left the hospital after battling COVID-19 for weeks.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. Your time is 5:30 on Thursday, April the 30th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning. Well, much of yesterday was a washout, and it's not looking much better on this final day of April. Let's bring Brandon Robinson in this morning to give us a better breakdown of what to expect. Brandon, good morning and happy Friday Eve.
With all the April showers we've had, there better be so many flowers in May that you basically can't see anything but the colors out there, because it's raining again this morning in some spots. As we take a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar, you'll see down toward Harlan, Bell, parts of Leslie County, into Perry County there just a little bit there this morning, back over toward Martin and Pike counties. Still seeing some of those scattered showers. Lee and Owsley also a little bit of stretch there of some stray showers as well. Temperatures right around 50 across the area. We're going to continue to see that trend slowly go upwards today, but not by a lot. Temperatures anywhere between 4 and about 20 degrees colder this morning than they were this time yesterday, thanks to that cold front that's continuing to make it slow trek through the mountains. 12-hour planner, you'll see temperatures only get to right around 54 today. Now, again, as I said a few minutes ago, I can't rule out some sunshine at times. I think it's mainly clouds, and those scattered rain chances continue. I'll have the rest of that forecast coming up in a little bit. Will?
Alrighty, Brandon, thank you. Well, more than 4,500 Kentuckians have now tested positive for COVID-19. Governor Beshear announced 184 new confirmed cases last night. The governor says 10 more people have died from the virus. That brings the total to at least 235 deaths. He also announced some businesses that he expects to allow to reopen beginning May 11th. Well, on Tuesday, President Trump declared meat processors critical infrastructure. That comes as COVID-19 cases rise in plants across the country. However, the declaration does not impact local processors who find themselves adjusting to a change in the business. While their restaurant business slows, they are seeing more people come in for cuts of meat.
Somebody asked me the other day, they said, well, what do you say to them? What do you talk? And I said, I just tell them thank you. Thanks for helping a farmer. Thanks for, helping my small business. We just appreciate you coming. And then at the end of the day, they appreciate the quality of the meats.
Turpin says their supply chain so far is unaffected because they purchase from local farmers. Well, as we know, people need to eat, so agriculture cannot stop. Yesterday, we heard from Kentucky Agriculture Commissioner Ryan Quarles during an interview with WKYT's Bill Bryant. They talked about the Kentucky Hunger Initiative, something he says is helping Kentuckians across the state.
And so when I started the Hunger Initiative, we wanted to make sure that we had an easy way to connect Kentucky farmers with our food banks to help out those Kentuckians in need. And right now we're seeing a surge across Kentucky and our nation of Americans relying on food banks to put food on their table. Right now, we are using our food banks to get food that would otherwise rot in the field, that may not have a market, food that may have gone to a restaurant customer for a restaurant that now is closed. Get that food into our food banks and distribute it to those in need.
Now, the COVID-19 pandemic has affected a lot of industries, especially the healthcare industry. Today is the last day of Donate Life Month, but organ donations are down. In many states, transplants have even been put on hold. Chad Hedrick talked with one Manny Grayson who was put on the list and is hoping the virus does not keep him from getting the kidney he so desperately needs.
It's been nearly 2 years since George Holbrook was diagnosed with kidney failure.
I got pneumonia and it shut me down. When I started dialysis, I was at 6%.
George now goes to dialysis 3 days a week. A couple weeks ago, some good news. He's on the wait list, but COVID-19 could prolong that wait.
Doctor said it'd probably be the last of the year before I'd get a transplant.
The United Network for Organ Sharing says organ donations and transplants have been impacted because of the virus. Data shows a sharp plateau of donations since early March and a significant decrease from a year ago.
Well, it's not a good thing. The donations need to come back up because there are plenty of people waiting on a kidney.
And the list gets longer. This chart from UNOS shows the dramatic increase in patients moved to inactive status on the wait list because the transplant program has determined that a patient is temporarily unsuitable for a transplant for virus-related concerns. However, George is staying positive.
You don't need to get yourself down. You can get down and be over with, but just you gotta keep living.
These days, living is different for George, who takes extra precautions when he has to leave his house.
I don't get out much. I go to dialysis and come home.
Getting treatment to keep him alive while a virus threatens his health in more ways than one.
It's a complicated process.
Chad Hedrick, WSAZ News Channel 3, Grayson.
Now, while these issues are having a major impact, UNOS says transplants have not been completely stopped during the coronavirus pandemic, saying that each state and even each doctor has practiced different protocols or decisions regarding transplants. Well, yesterday it was an exciting day at Baptist Health in Corbin. 68-year-old James Walters battled the coronavirus for more than 2 weeks at the hospital, but he was discharged yesterday. The nurses and employees at Baptist Health celebrated his milestone as he left.
If they go through what I went through, I don't think a regular man could do it. It's tough. It is tough.
Well, in Knox County, Parkway Pharmacy has remained open for more than 30 years. But even now, people need their medicine. And as one worker there has made an impression for a long time. At 92 years old, Earl Gill has been a pharmacist for 70 years. That is 70. He has always had a calling to serve going back to World War II. Even now, amid a pandemic, he says he knows there is a need for his work and he will continue to help people who need it.
I think that I have been probably the most fortunate pharmacist, besides being one of the oldest. I have been one of the most fortunate pharmacists to have worked with the kind of people that I have worked with.
Earl works Mondays, Wednesdays, and sometimes on Fridays. He says work is what keeps him going. Well, high schools across the country are looking for new ways to honor the class of 2020. In Pulaski County, they are using a drive-in theater to hold graduation ceremonies. WKYT's Shelby Lofton explains how the seniors will be celebrated.
In just a few weeks, this field will be full. Rather than 2 cars at every post, there will only be 1.
I actually saw a couple of posts on Facebook and someone threw out, hey, why don't we do it at the drive-in?
Proud parents of the Pulaski County Maroons and Southwestern High Warriors will tune in and settle in for a movie 18 years in the making.
I feel like they'll be prideful to see their child on the big screen at the drive-in.
Before the special screening, students will report to school at a designated time to pick up their caps and gowns and diploma covers. Then they'll meet their principal from a distance after he reads their name and accomplishments.
Their family will be able to be there to witness them walk across the stage, and then they'll exit the building, get back in their car, and leave.
Speakers like the class valedictorian will submit a video of their speeches, and students will send their photos.
We'll clip it all together, and it will be just like, hopefully, just like a ceremony that we would have live.
The innovative ceremony not only benefits the class of 2020, but also the family who owns 27 Twin Drive-In.
The place where we grew up, it's been our livelihood, and it's been a place to have a good time for decades.
Superintendent Richardson calls this a local hotspot that's been hit hard by the pandemic.
It's gone to zero, just flatline, this business.
Now Roden's family has a reason to safely fire up the projector, mow the lawn, and rip the ticket stubs. In Pulaski County, Shelby Lofton, WKYT.
Southwestern will hold its graduation on May 29th. Pulaski County will have its ceremony the next day on the 30th. 1 car will be allowed per student, but the ceremonies will be live streamed. Well, while schools may not have in-person instruction, a Pike County native is finding creative ways to bring a smile to students' faces face-to-face. Eric Blankenship is an assistant principal at Campbell County Middle School. Every Friday, he does a creative announcement video singing or acting out a Disney skit. Blankenship says it has been important to continue something students and staff look forward to.
I knew that's something the students look forward to. If I'm ever busy on a Friday morning and I don't do the announcements, I hear boos down the hallway. We really miss our kids. We're in this for a reason. We love the kids, and we do miss them.
Blankenship has also started a virtual 5K for his students and those across the state to try and create a friendly, competitive atmosphere. Well, just ahead on Mountain News this morning, we have the latest on one Eastern Kentucky native's progress on season 40 of Survivor.
Rain, please go away. We're going to track more chances today, though, as we wrap up the month of April. We'll talk about it coming up in about 3 minutes.